What's up? It's Filthy Casual coming at you with another best worst. Hopefully the audio is fixed. I got a new cable, so hopefully this should get rid of all the static that was happening in my voice. I'll be very disappointed if it doesn't. But getting straight into the video, this video is going to be about the Cavaliers. Couldn't say that right. Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't even know what I said about the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they're hot right now, right? So the Cavs are, well, they just made a big trade for Donovan Mitchell, and the Jazz have successfully blown up their team for a ton of draft capital and no new players. And the Cavs have a very talented starting lineup. Now, I'm not so positive about their bench at this point, to put it lightly. Um, uh, I'm looking at the list. I mean, it's outside of Kevin Love, there and I guess Isaac Okoro, their bench is kind of weird. I think Rondo is not. ESPN says that they have Rondo, but Rondo good in like years. Ricky Rubio's got an ACL tear. They're clearly lacking in some players. Karis LeVert, um, who I have a touch of fondness for, given the fact that he was a Brooklyn Net for a while. I think has struggled due to injury and hasn't had a consistent role in playing time and hasn't really developed over the past couple of years, which is very sad. And I'm not so sold on their bench. I think they lack defensive versatility in wings. I think they are really waiting for leaps from all of their players. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean I think they're going to be bad. Rather, I actually think they might be a top five seed in the East. I don't think that's weird to say. I think they're better than the Bulls. I think they might be better than the Heat this year. It's tough. I would say it's close because I think Jimmy Butler is the best out of the two squads, but I also don't really know how much I trust Bam Adebayo in space against strong defensive when he struggles to get to the rim. So in a 1v1 matchup, I think I would be taking the Cavs. So I think that this roster is really quite good. I think their best case scenario is a conference finals appearance. I think that is unlikely. I think they're far more likely to get it to the second round with just this squad. I don't know how much I trust for them to get the conference finals. Although if they did get to the conference finals, they'd probably have to play either the Bucks or the Celtics, whichever one. And I think both of those teams are better than the Cavs, just like from top to bottom. I think the Celtics are much deeper. I think the Bucks have a higher tier star, and that makes a difference. That being said, I think their best case scenario is that conference finals appearance. They'd probably lose in 5, but I think that could happen depending on how the seeding and injuries and stuff breaks down the Eastern Conference. Worst case scenario, I really can't see this team not making the playoffs. I think they would need to get absolutely ravaged by injury to not make the playoffs as a top 5 seed. The fact that I'm saying 5 and not higher just goes to show how deep the league is right now. Because I can't even say deep the East, because I think the West is also crazy deep right now. So it really goes to show how deep the league is right now, and even the East, which used to suck. Like there were like there used to be like 3 teams in the East, and then it was like I don't know who's gonna come out of this. Probably LeBron's team, but everybody else sucks. So, but yeah, like I'm super excited for the season for this team. I think everybody's super high on the Cavs, much more than the Hawks, who made like a similar kind of trade with DeJounte Murray. I think this team feels a bit more complete. And I think they're a year away, is how I feel about this Cavs roster. I think they're a year away. I think they've got injuries to some players on their bench. I think they need a year to gel. I think they need another year of leaps from the young players. And all their core is young. Like, I think if Evan Mobley, I think he'll take a jump this year, but, there's also always the possibility of sophomore slump. It happens to plenty of players. He might go through a little bit of sophomore whatever's, but I think next year, regardless of what happens this year, next year everybody's going to be ready. And I think that's their year. And I think if they make another move in the next off season, not just to shore up some of their players on the wings, I think this team is going to be a very strong contender. So that's my Cleveland Cavaliers best worst. Hopefully this audio is good. Leave a like and subscribe.